How's it going, Shy? Because I could tell you, for me, it ain't going well today. It is wild, Shy. Can I tell you
Oh,
that, Shy? It is
yeah,
easy.
go ahead. Just talk it out. Talk it out.
Shy, I'm on no sleep. First,
Oh, no.
I stayed up last night. I've been under the weather.
Mhm.
Um, I had two gigs that, like, if they were specifically gigs that I couldn't cancel because I enjoyed the event, or they were one of one. So I did these gigs that, like, I was too sick to do.
Okay.
That was Sunday and Monday. I did shows that, like, on God, my body, like, I spent the whole day in bed on Monday to do this 10-minute spot. I'm missing this, but for real, like, I need everything in me. Gabby gave me like 40 pills over the course of the day.
Mhm.
I sweated out I don't know how many pounds. Everything that, like, went into the four members of my family came together for me to, like, get this set in.
Mhm.
Tuesday, exhausted. You know what I mean? Trying to get it done.
Mhm.
Wednesday, we supposed to record. So I'm like, all right, at least I'm gonna be getting good rest. But
Right.
now, like, I was sick the other way, where, like, I couldn't sleep.
Mm.
So I stayed up all night. Decided, let me be productive, be outside, get the garbage ready,
Mhm.
sanitation showing up at weird hours,
Okay.
dealing with them. You know what I mean? They got the whole thing in motion now. We back to composting again, but now they doing the tickets if you don't do it.
Okay.
So I was composting at like 3 in the morning. And, like, yo, my head's been everywhere. I set
Okay.
I set up the articles, got some great articles from the people. Real excited. Got
Mhm.
them organized. I was like, yo, you know what? Shy hit me up to record early. Maybe it's secretly a blessing.
Mm.
Maybe I'm so tired, her recording early, I'm gonna get to bed.
Right.
Get a nice nap in for the day, relax. And then we sit down to record. My camera's like, yo, Gastor, you don't work no more with me, B. I don't like you. I don't know what you did, but I heard about it. Now me and you, we don't go together no more. I ain't
Oh,
touched no new
no.
buttons. Same button shot. I don't even no lie. I use this computer for like 3 pieces of software.
Mhm.
I use Google Chrome. I use DaVinci Resolve, and, like, I think that's it. I don't know. I have folders.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what I did different, but it decided this morning I don't do that, Gastor.
Mm.
Now I'm doing tech. Tech, and I'm not great at tech, but I get things done usually, Sha.
Right.
But on 26 hours no sleep, I'm not that savvy, not sharp.
Right.
I'm off my game. Plus, my kid, who's normally not into texting me all day. Aiden telling me, like, yo, you coming to track practice today? Never in my life has this kid shown any type of interest in bonding in the
Right.
extracurricular on top of that. So I gotta give him that.
Mhm.
But now he asking nuanced questions. He's like, yeah, uh, I did that. We had his meet yesterday. Really beautiful, really exciting. I went to the track. I was hallucinating off of the medicine
Mhm.
at this track meet, watching this kid run. He got this is his first time racing. He has no concept of strategy.
Mm.
I watched him, like, sprint out ahead on a 400 meter, like he
Mhm.
was running a 100.
Mhm.
He was like he had like a legit 60-meter lead, and then, like, passed out midway through the race. Like,
I'm sorry.
insanity. And it's my days, but it's been a while, like 2 days of this.
Right.
And, like, so, like, in the car, I'm, like, showing them empathy, but also, like, yo, what was you doing, my G? Like, you seen how far that race? You got to go around the whole track. And he's
Mhm.
like, he's like, we don't have a track program. Before this, I'm the only freshman on the team. The other people were, like, transfers, blah blah blah. He the only rookie on the squad. He's never been on the track before. He's only been running up and down the gym, so he had no concept of, like, when it was ending. He's like, Dad, I was just running until they told me to stop. But, like, I
Oh.
didn't know where the ending was. I just knew the gunshot went off. I ran as hard as I could, and I
Mhm.
had like 200 meters in me apparently. And that's what we saw. We saw him. He finished it. But he went from first to last. So
Right.
I had all of my emotional empathy went into that.
Right.
Then I'm dealing with this computer energy. I got no empathy for the computer.
Mhm.
And now he's texting me. He's excited about it because I did a good job of giving him like, yo, that was kind of dope, low key. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? For someone with no understanding of the concept of the sport besides just running, it was really cool to watch, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
uh, like if you knew what you was doing, you might have did something like low key. Like I
Right.
saw it was just raw, like running.
Mhm.
So I was like, I really think you got something here. You know what I mean? A couple weeks of understanding, hey, run at the right pace. I think you got something. I'm excited for you. And
Mhm.
I think he felt that. But now he's texting me after the energy for that depleted, and the little I got is focused on the computer,
Mhm.
and I'm spent. And then, like, right at the edge of it, every time I go upstairs, I step in this dog shit.
Why?
Because the dog, Gabby was sick. So she recovered. I'm the new sick one. So
Mhm.
she's working at her mom. So I don't get her sick again.
Okay.
So I'm alone with the dog. But when I'm recording or
Uh-huh.
when I'm fixing the computer, I'm in my office. So the dog thinks, yo, where you going? You supposed to be here with me.
Right.
So like it panic shits when it's alone,
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
So it's
Mhm.
panic and it's shitting in places when it panic shits, it shits like wherever it was, like when the panic happened. And that's not in the patty. You know, it's not in the little potty place. So like she'll panic shit. And it'll just be in a random place in my hallway. And I'm like, yo. And I can't get mad at her because I get it. I'm like, I know you used to somebody being here all day, and
Oh,
that was
wow.
supposed to be me, and it's not me, and I'm sorry. But
Mhm.
you don't understand what's happening to my computer. My son's having an emotional growth moment. I'm trying to
Mhm.
be here for all of y'all. Okay. Yo.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
But yeah.
Well, all right. So take some deep breaths.
Real talk. And to be clear, at this moment, I don't even know if this is recording video. I know the
Oh,
audio is recording. I see a red light. I'm
okay.
assuming it's recording.
That's great. I mean, we'll have something.
We'll
There
have
will
some.
be something to show for your work today. It may not be the way that you want it to, but
Oh man.
we let that ship sail a long time ago.
Amen. Amen.
Right now, we're just trying to get it down as proof that there was an attempt and there is work behind it, and doggone it, we're gonna get it out to the people.
Oh man. But
Oh
yeah,
boy.
um,
Okay.
I'm okay.
Great.
I
Are you
know
feeling better?
I am because like I feel like I got through the hardest part of the day.
Mhm.
Everything from here is autopilot,
Okay.
and I made it a point to leave tomorrow kind of empty.
Okay.
I have two errands to run for Gabby, and other than that, I'm like chilling in the office, looking at stuff render.
Okay.
So it's a easy sit down day. You know
Great.
what? I haven't done an edible in like a year and a half. It might be an edible day.
Whatever helps you make it through,
Real talk.
then yeah, then I recommend that.
Yeah. we gave a little Gabby getting trigger happy. She been give we the doctor talked to us about giving the vet to giving a little like not weed but like the CBD one to the dog.
Mhm.
She was like a little too hyper.
Mm.
So she been like low key dropping hints that I might get one too.
CBD oil?
Like, yeah, she got like these little like snacks that she gives the dog and it chills the dog out.
Honey, you are too big for CBD oil. That shit ain't gonna do nothing but irritate your throat a little bit. Don't even bother. It works on pets,
Real talk.
and I'm assuming children. Although,
Mm.
don't give it to your kid. Although, honestly, I don't know if you should give it to your pet. Who knows? What do I know? I mean, I give my cat some sort of treat that is supposed to calm her down.
Yeah,
The only thing it says in it is that it's got chamomile, and I'm like, "Great, that's what's in sleepy time tea." Anything
I
to
like it.
calm her down so that she doesn't continue to lick all of the hair off of her body. So and, it seems to be working. Um, I have a house guest right now, which is so funny. My roommate moves out, and then every other month since he's been gone, I've had somebody stay in that room. And so I'm like, I can't get another roommate if I tried. I'm on some sort of very quiet like list of I don't know, call Shalewa, see if she can do it.
Real talk.
So Um, but, yeah, and normally when there's a disruption in, our whatever our schedule is, she gets to licking, but, she's doing okay so far, so
Amen.
that's good.
Did you ever do there was like a that club in Pittsburgh that the comedian owns with the church?
No.
Yeah, you should do that for like your guest room. Have like a little book, like a bed and breakfast kind of signing. Like these are the comedians that have crashed
Oh,
here.
no, because I wouldn't let that many people in here.
It would just be the same four
It would
people.
be the same people. Like, this person who's staying with me now is not anyone who stayed with me before. It is someone who is near and dear to my heart and has
Mhm.
been, a good friend since I moved to New York.
Right,
Um, but, there had never really been a case where he needed to come to New York and, needed a place to stay because 'cause he's got family here.
right. Yeah, he's a New Yorker. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not been an issue, but he hit me up and I was just like, "Yeah, okay." Because before, there are only 2 names on the list of who I would allow to crash here, um, because anyone else either lived here or had a place to go, and so, uh, of the 2 names that, uh of people who were not related to, say, me or my former roommate. Like, we each have a sibling, so we were like, "Okay, the sibling can come and stay. Great." Each sibling did that, knocked that out. And then we were like, of our comedian friends, there are really only 2 that I would allow
Real talk.
in here, and one, was here, like, once a year, once or twice a year, he'd come and crash, and that was not a problem. Um, and the other one never comes here, never comes. I'd tell him, "Hey, as a way to get you down, you always have a place. You always have a place." And he's like, "Word, word," never comes. So I'm
You
like,
know,
"Great."
Sha, you just made me. I had this discussion with Gabby last week.
Mhm,
Gabby went to Georgia last week for one of our childhood friends' daughter's wedding.
mhm,
So she was, I think, the second of us to have kids. So her kid is now getting married.
mhm,
Um, I was cool with her. Gabby and her were real tight.
mm,
So Gabby went down to the wedding. I was like, yo, say what up. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And I'll stay here. But when she came back, she was telling me about how great of a time she had. They like it was they rented out like an Airbnb in like some like suburb of Georgia where
mhm,
like the girls all stayed with their moms together and they had like this like kind of cool hangout before the wedding.
mhm.
And it made me think we don't do I don't know why culturally it's wrong, but we need like slumber parties as adults. I feel like there's a level of comfort that only comes from being out at night
Mhm.
and being up late that allows people to bond and talk. By the same token, I think it's wrong that those settings are only in like bars and outdoors as you get older. Like I don't, it doesn't. I don't want the drinking. I just want to be in PJs and talking with my homies and watching movies.
Okay,
But
hold on.
it sound childish when I say that.
No, I think, this may be a gendered thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's part of it too.
Yeah, I don't know how culturally it is, but it may be a gender thing because I know of, uh, girlfriends who will go to places like, like a group, like a maybe a spa place, and then they have a Airbnb thing connected to it, so they have a spa day, and then they stay together all night or whatever, a girls' weekend or something like that.
Right.
Um, yeah, I mean, as long as you call it like I mean, if you make it ugly and gendered, so if it embarrasses you to say that you're having a spa weekend with your boys, although that to me would be impressive.
Yeah.
Um, but someone is bound to be uncomfortable. So I just, we're all going to hang out, and then your hangout is, you know what I mean, getting your nails done or something to that effect. But I mean, yeah, I guess so. But you also, I mean, like when there are girls' trips, oh, it's a girls' trip.
Right.
Yeah, relationships end on trips. Hardcore especially when you're grown at like, I mean, honestly, I don't know if you watched any of White Lotus.
I didn't watch this season. No, I gotta watch the
Okay,
new one.
but there were 3 women who were, like, probably best friends since, like, middle school age.
Okay.
They had all been friends, and they went to the White Lotus Thailand spa and resort together. One woman, was a actress, I guess, a popular actress, and so she paid for all of them to go to this super fancy hotel.
Oh, okay.
And, and it went as well as, a friendship of 3 women could go, where at some point, 2 of them would pair off while one went to bed early and talk shit about that one. And that happens 3 times, there are 3 different pairings. So, yeah, like that, and, for a second, it looked like their relationship would fall apart, and then they were just like, "This always happens." So, you gotta
Yeah,
be
that's
able
fair.
to deal with that part of it too, but yeah, it's not novel, just say that that's what you wanna do.
Yeah, I gotta figure out, cause like even like growing up, like when like after the last time I had homies stay at my place, and we didn't call it crashing,
Mhm.
was like 7th grade. Like after that, if somebody stayed at my place, we needed a thing that we did first, so that
Mm.
we could say that was the thing that we did, and then we crashed at a place. Even
Oh,
even if
so
even if the
sleepovers stopped at, like, 8th grade.
yeah, hard. And then after that, if you stayed somewhere, it was because you crashed there after doing something. You couldn't just that couldn't be the event.
Yeah, see, that's definitely a gender thing.
That
I feel
sucks.
like, I mean, yeah, that sucks for y'all.
Real talk. I just want to like watch Paid in Full and eat Doritos with the homies. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
mean,
Watch Belly.
can't you just so then what was hanging out? Can't that just be a hangout?
Yeah,
Whereas yeah,
until a
we
certain
we
hour.
hung out and then he slept over.
Nah, like that. See, like there's elements of it that like kept it from being a sleepover. I don't know what.
Well, no, but I'm saying if you phrase it as, "We hung out, we watched a couple of movies or whatever, and just hung out," and then he just stayed over. 'Cause it got late, as opposed to
Right, that
saying
it has
it
to be
was a
that verbiage.
sleepover. Yeah, that's the only way to not hurt someone's fragile ego is to say, "We hung out and then he just stayed over," you know? Yeah, and then that won't trigger anything for people,
Real talk.
as opposed to having a sleepover, which, I mean, I feel like sleepovers, when it's like an event,
Right,
those probably stopped, maybe about 8th or 9th grade, but, I mean, I had friends who it's just spend the night. Can I spend the night at their house?
right.
What about, that which I guess is what he stayed over, you can't say, "Can I spend the
Yeah,
night?"
nah,
But I mean,
I
like,
haven't done that with anybody, not Gabby,
oh, that's
since
interesting
like my
because
teen, like literally since like adulthood.
yeah, I mean, well, no, I mean, as an adult, yeah, every phrase that you use innocently as a child, when you use it as an adult, everyone thinks that you mean that you guys are gonna have sex.
Yeah,
So,
but yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like it's weird like that. And I feel like, but I think it's important because like Gabby had combos with friends that like she came back and like the only time I remember having conversations like that was
Mhm.
at sleepovers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
dudes don't have those.
Well, y'all should get into it. You know? I mean, I don't know what to tell you except to get into it and get over yourselves. That should be the first topic.
How
Come
we
in
do this more?
Yeah, come in with a list. What are our hangups about what we're doing right now, and how do we get over them? How when can we continue to do this? You know what I mean? Set your boundaries, set your rules, and then, do whatever it is you're gonna do. Make sure
Real
you get
talk.
a group picture of all of you doing one of those sheet masks.
Amen.
Put that on the gram, and then just go on and talk shit about whatever it is you wanna talk shit about.
Real
But,
talk.
you gotta be open, you know?
I'm into this. I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna
Mhm.
hit up the home. I'm gonna hit up the friends of the show first. I think they're emotionally comfortable with it. I can see Courtney being like, yeah, I'm cool with this. Rufat, I can see him being cool with this. Real talk. I gotta start with the people that's allies to this idea.
Sure,
You know what I
sure.
mean?
Here's a question. Do you allow your kids to go to sleep like, spend the night at someone's house or go to sleepovers? Are they allowed to
Friends?
do that?
No, not they not because I'm against it, but because mostly admittedly because a balance of the quarantine and other things. I feel like Aiden in particular
Mhm.
never had relationships with people that I felt like we built that. Michaela, I think, has two friends that like if she wanted to crash there, I know the friend and the parent enough that I'd be cool with it.
Okay.
Yeah. But it just not
Alright.
it didn't work. It sucked. I really feel bad. That's one of the things that they missed out on. Where like the peak uh slumber party
Years that you
sleepover
would
years
Yeah, they
landed
missed that.
during that time. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So like they kind of
interesting.
missed that. Like, and it's come up before, like where like Michaela was like, she saw like a movie and she's like, I never did that. And I'm like, yeah, like, and like you're almost aging out of it now. Like you can
Mhm.
still do it in high school, obviously people do, but like she's already ending her sophomore year. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah, no, that's kinda
it's
yeah.
almost out of it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, unless she has a core group of, like, this kinda slumber parties of, like, 5 people,
Right.
those are kinda over. Unless you have a core group of folks and y'all just go everywhere together, those kinda like, once in the sophomore, junior, senior year, those are more like you've got your 1, maybe 2 people whose house you stay over
Exactly. And that's where
at.
she at. She got a duo. It's a
Uh-huh.
threesome over there, they little squad.
Right.
You know what I mean? They be out here like terrorizing Barnes and Nobles and
Sure,
Starbucks.
right,
You know
yes.
what I mean? But and like if either one of them hit up Gabby and me, admittedly they'd hit up Gabby.
Mhm.
But like they'd be like, yo, if we could crash, I would be with it. But yeah, it sucks.
Okay.
I feel like they missed out on that. But
But
that'd have been
if
cool.
if there was no COVID, you would have let that happen?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's a vital opportunity for like relationship building. Um I think I'm really big on like the idea. I think friendship is like being around people
Mhm.
and allowing for moments where you need to take risks together.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I think slumber parties are like a perfect balance of like safety, but like just enough room for stupidity for kids to do something that like, yo, you probably shouldn't do it, but if you're gonna do it with your homie
Right,
and like
right.
learn something about who that person is with you.
Mhm.
So I like spaces like that. Same thing with like my daughter and her friends. Like she's in the city every day. Like I don't know what she's doing. You know, I'm
Right.
realistically right, but I'm trusting that she's gonna get it right most times. But if she's
Mhm.
gonna get it wrong, I want it to be with two people that she really rocks with.
Right, sure.
You know, so
What
yeah, I would have
about
been pro that.
okay, what about, like, parties, like house parties? Are kids still doing that?
Nah,
Like
I mean maybe, and just
like
my kids are not cool.
no,
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
if it's not cool because I almost feel like I don't know if everyone's even doing that anymore. I don't know if I get a sense of whether or not they're still I mean, I'm sure they are. I'm sure there are a lot of kids are, like, hanging out
Right.
together, but, like, a thing not even, like, in a '80s movies way where, like, your parents are out of town and you're having all these people over. Not that. I'm sure that has now turned into the you're getting an Airbnb and you're having all these people go over
Right.
here. But like just, uh just a true like not a slumber party. Cause I remember being in 8th grade, maybe ninth grade, somewhere in there where someone I got an invitation to a party
Right.
and, I thought it was like yet another slumber party, that someone was having,
Yeah.
and, there was something about it, so I showed it to my parents, and it was like an invitation,
Hell
um,
yeah.
and I showed it to my parents, and I'm like, "Oh, so and so's having a party," um, and there was something about it, and I remember my mom going, "Oh, I think this is like a party party." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, like a party." She's like, "No, not like a slumber party. Like, I think this is a girl like, I think this is a boys will be there party."
Ooh.
And I went, "Oh."
Why we want them there?
Ugh, oh, gross, but okay, I guess. She's like, "Yeah, yeah, I think this is a boy and girl party is what's happening here. I think this is just a party at someone's house, and, like, a parent will be there."
Right.
That was why there was, like, a proper invitation because a parent was gonna be there, but we also would have been, like, I don't know, 13 or something? Um, and so, I was like, "Oh, alright. Well, huh." I didn't know how I felt about it, but I thought I went and then sure enough, like, almost everyone in our class and maybe the class above us, like, when it was a party, and I was
Right.
just like, "Oh, this isn't like, oh, we don't do slumber parties anymore?" Not that I love slumber parties, but I just thought, "Huh." And then I
Right.
was like, "Well, that makes sense because I would have been really surprised if this girl had invited me over for a slumber party,
Right.
even
Right.
though I think we were slumber party friend adjacent. And I
Okay.
could have
Okay.
made the cut, but if she had to narrow it down,
Right.
I probably would have been one of the first to go because we weren't tight like that. But, I've been to slumber parties where I'm like, "I don't even know why I'm here. Why
I
why did
don't know
you
your last
invite me?"
name. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I didn't I mean, I'll come, but, now thinking back, maybe they wanted to be better friends than I realized. And so
Yeah.
they just kept having me come to their slumber party or later on come to their wedding, and I'm like, "Why is this bitch inviting me to her wedding?" Or we I don't even know if she signed my yearbook, but okay.
Oh man, yo, there's some heartbroken girl out there from
I
Georgia.
know, I know, I know.
Yo, real talk. I was thinking about shit like that, like 2, 3 months back. I had in my junior high school, I had 3 dudes that, like me and them was like the squad.
Mhm.
But in retrospect, like my whole junior high school part of me was 48 people,
Right.
3 grades, the teachers, the staff,
Oh, wow.
48 total. So like my class was 18 of them,
Right.
and like the boys were like 9. So like I was thinking about it. I was like, yo, I was just being a dick to like 5 dudes, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean? By not inviting them to stuff. Like, and like in my head, it made sense. I was like, yo, like, we in New York, be like, I don't got that much floor space. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, this
Yeah,
ain't a
sure.
suburb bedroom.
You gotta pick the top one. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's about proximity. One of my closest friends in high school was a girl who literally moved in the apartment, like, if my apartment number was 103, hers was 102 or something like that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, she's across the hall and down the stairs." And then another person in my class lived just across the hall, and we she came in later and I was like, "Oh, I've already established a thing with the girl downstairs, and you are very popular and you've got plenty of people, so we
We
don't
good.
need to. We understand each other." That felt more of like a roommate thing where there's respect in the in the hallways. There's a respect of just like,
Had not.
yeah, nah, right. I know, I've seen her check the mail. You know what I mean? Like it's a, it was a whole thing where people would come over to her house to visit her and then they'd see me. They're like, "I didn't know you lived over here." And I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah, I do." you know?
Word. Yeah, I'm here
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
So right, but yeah, it absolutely me and the other one who became my close friends. We were running buddies. We went all over the place together, and it was very like my parents were like, "Great, she's right downstairs. I met the mom. We're good." So we got to do a lot because we knew that we needed to get back to the same place.
Amen. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And if
That
we had a big fight, I could just go back upstairs. You know what I mean? It was mad convenient.
Yo, I love that, but also it brings back a semi trauma of like my mom. There was a kid in my high school. I think I've talked about this once. That like I don't I I don't remember his name. I don't
Mhm.
remember anything about the dude. But we had a class together once, and I wasn't a jerk to anybody in high school. Most people would say I was chill. So
Mhm.
like he was, hey, what up, G? I would say, what up? But like I knew like A, I wasn't tight with him. I wasn't
Right.
cool with him. And B, no diss, but we were in different places in the social hierarchy,
Mhm.
right? So my mom is very kind-hearted, in my opinion, to a fault, and doesn't
Mhm.
realize how cool she is.
Mhm.
So she at the local gym doing her like, workouts. She going hard 4 or 5 days a week. She befriends another lady who's about her age who also got a kid to go to the same school.
Mm.
That lady mom, that dude's mom is that lady. And he
Mhm.
tells my mom that we're boys,
Oh, no.
that we homies.
Mhm.
So my mom was like, oh, y'all, I met such and such. And I'm like, I don't know who you talking about, ma. No idea. For the life of me, yo. And she's like, you sure? Because he said y'all are best friends. I'm like, ma, on God, no idea who you talking about. I went to school. I was asking people, who is this kid? Like,
Right.
I couldn't figure it out. And then like she was like, nah, you definitely know him. Because he like described you. He told me about a class y'all had together. I'm doing recon for like a week trying to figure out this kid through my mom's gym sessions.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm giving her questions to ask the mom that
Right.
doesn't offend the mom by
Right.
giving away that I don't know her son.
Sure.
And then she was like, they were talking, they were walking home after the gym session, and mom bought me this dope guest watch, metallic with the blue face. I was
Okay.
killing in school, yo. And I go in, I'm rocking my shit, and then he came and dapped me up, rocking the same one with a
Mhm.
gray face. And he said, yo, ma told me she got me one to match you since we homies. And that's how I met the kid. And I hated that watch after that shit. Couldn't
Oh,
wear it no more. Got
wow.
like, yo, it's some weird stalker shit.
Yo, this is look, I don't you don't always have to mine your life for material, but I swear to God, if this isn't an after school special waiting to be written.
Yo, real talk. That's just, I was like, this is weird, my G. And
Mm.
like, that was one of the first times when like, it was so awkward that like I had trouble hiding it. Like I
Mhm.
ain't even, I was like, I don't know what you want me to say at this point. Like I had no answer for the weirdness. I was too young in
Yeah.
my social development to like say that's cool. So I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? And he's like, really? I was like, yeah. Like, yo,
Yeah, yeah, it's weird, kid. That's weird.
yeah,
And even if he didn't realize it was weird, it's now is the time to learn it. That's when you
yeah.
learn it, when someone's like, "Yeah, bruh." So, yeah, so what if his heart is crushed for, like, 10 years? At least he now knows what weird is.
Amen. Amen. I went home. I told my mom, like, y'all met the dude. Def ain't cool before. Def not cool now. Yo.
Oh, oh,
Like,
no. Oh,
oh man.
no.
You know what? Nothing like little childhood trauma to like make me forget about the craziness of this morning. I feel
That's
better now.
yeah, that's what it's there for.
Amen.
Mm.
Perspective, you know what I mean? I'm over here complaining about computers not working. I could have a stalker out there if I'd have played that wrong. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
Real talk.
You would have had to fill out a lot of paperwork.
Instead, I hope that dude is living a good life. He healthy. And weirdly enough, now that I knew who he was, mom kept keeping me updated, and I want to know just so I make decisions to counter it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
she was like, he's looking at these schools. It's like, all right, let me know what schools, because I will not look at those schools. You know what I mean? Like, I will
Man,
100% not go there.
when a mom gets erroneous information about who you're friends with, they never let that shit go. They're the people that you are the most tight with. Parents refuse to learn any information about them. But the
Yo,
one person where I was like, yeah, actually, we're not that close. That's the one where they're like, that's going to be your friend for life. And I will keep it alive if I have to. And I'm like, I truly don't. I think they moved. Like, I think they're in another state. Why are you telling me this information?
yo. my
Yeah.
my beef was that, like, it made me realize that my mom is nice before cool. And, like,
Yes.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, my dad is cool before nice. I know for a fact, me and high school pop, we would have rocked.
Hmm.
Me and high school mom, I would have been like, oh yeah, I heard of her, she cool. But I'd have asked her for homework. But like, we wouldn't have hung out like that. Cause like this right here, I was like, I don't think you know like who I am. Like, I was like, there's no way. Did you saw that kid and you thought we was kicking it?
Right. Right. Also, if we were that close, why are you just only learning about him through his mother?
Yeah,
Wouldn't I have said his name at some point?
real
Like,
talk.
that's wild that I talk. Yeah, I think in my mom's case, there were just friends that I had that she just didn't like, and so she would be like, "Well, what about this person?" I'm like, "What about that person?" So what? And so I was like, I'm just not going to say much because my mother had very strong opinions about who we should hang out with. I think I feel like oh my gosh, I feel like she would just, come out and out just say, "Yeah, that person's not good. You shouldn't like, you don't like her, or she doesn't like you," or something, like, and I understand now what my mother was seeing. She was seeing mean girlness in people and all that
Right.
kinda stuff, but I also think, there may have been a touch of mean girl in her, and so she was like, "No child of mine is gonna hang out with that person," and I'm like, "I think you need to check in with the child of yours." You know what I mean? She was very just like, "You should hang out with this person and that person," and I was like, "You need to see how I am at school so that you can see there's no way that's gonna happen."
Real
I
talk.
may be a person that if we were in school together, we would not hang. So, I need you to adjust that, you know?
Yo, I will
Yeah.
say that I'm realizing now that all of the people that mom wanted me to be friends with are probably comedians. Like,
What do you
they're
mean?
like, that kid is like an awkward dude that like I could see at an open mic that I met my first 2, 3 years.
Yeah,
And
but
like,
I don't think that means that they were comics. I
no,
don't think
they weren't good comics, but they were
Oh.
there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, they're in the world,
Uh-huh, okay, alright.
you know? And I think that's cool. Like,
Do
it
you?
you know, yeah, I think it's important for people to do stuff, find themselves.
Oh.
You know, people got to finger paint sometimes.
Yeah, I don't
It's just dope.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think, I think parents should let you go ahead and find your tribe, and kinda leave it alone, but that's only because I had a mom who tended to attempt to meddle in things and just didn't understand the kind of relationships I was cultivating. And then my dad was just like, "Look, there were just because where I grew up, there were a lot of white kids, so I knew a lot of white kids." And he was like, "I only really remember the name of like 3 of the white kids that you knew." So he's like, "So if I only ask about this one, or this one, those were the 3 names." And I was like, "You know what? Honestly, fair.
Real
That's
talk.
fair. That's great. At least you tried."
Bro, I asked my dad about stuff. He's like, yeah, so all the friends of yours that I remember either broke some in my house or got a job. He's like, that's it.
Right? It's some sort of connection that had to be like, yeah, like my dad had to have some sort of interaction with them outside of just like, all right, see you later, when I
Straight up.
left. But yeah, so one was the girl who lived next door to us or across the hall from us. And, because she was right there. And then the other was another friend who I went over to. I knew her for a long time and would go to her house and he'd have to drive me over there. And it was just like, all right, I'll remember this one because I know where the house is. I'll remember these. I'll
That's
remember
awesome.
these two, but otherwise, I ain't keeping up with none of the other ones. And I'm like,
Real
that's
talk.
good. Good for you. Save your peace. You know what I mean?
And I gotta say, yo, I didn't think I'd be like that, but as the dad, I'm like that. I don't
Yeah.
know any of Aiden's friends' names. I
Mm-mm.
know, and Michaela has two friends that like I know like what they embody,
Right.
but like I couldn't tell you their names off the top of my head. But when they
You just
say their names, I'm like, oh yeah, those are the two. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if
you
you
just
say them in
keep calling
combo,
them the squad and keep it moving. That's
that's
all
it.
you
That's
got
all
to
I
do.
need to know. Real talk. That's all I need. I recognize their parents, so when I do a drop off, I
Right.
know who I left them with.
Yep.
But like outside of that, be like, I couldn't tell you who these people are. I paid for a whole bunch of their books,
Uh,
Starbuckses, because I like that, they got their squad.
right.
Couldn't tell you who they are.
That's so funny.
It's a parent thing.
Yeah. That's so great.
Let's get into the news.
All righty.
In the most updated article of all time, Sha,
Uh huh.
Trump orders a 90-day pause on the new tariffs,
What you
except for
talking about?
China. This
Wait.
article, Sha, I saved this article.
Oh
It
shit.
might have even been updated since. I
It
saved this
literally
article.
says updated a minute ago. It is right now 3:19 as we're speaking. This thing was updated 3:18 p.m.
Yo, Sha, I saved this shit last night. And then like I was talking to Gabby about it. I clicked on it and it changed during the convo. Like I changed, I was like, oh, let me check this out. And it changed from when I said it, when I saved it. And then during the convo, I texted to her and it changed during the convo again. It was insane. So like essentially there's been like a back and forth, like a tick for tat between US and China in terms of the tariffs. Like
Mm-hmm.
as you know, Trump implemented tariffs across the board. He made them higher against China. China said, oh, word, and made them higher back. Then Trump said, word, and then he doubled up, put him up to 105. China said, word back, pumped days up to the 80s against the US. Then we had rumors leaking in the streets. They were like, yo, we ain't even going to take American movies. You know what I mean? Like
Ooh.
it was, the peoples was talking. And then
Okay.
Trump dropped the video. Real talk. He dropped the video. It was hot. It was popping on YouTube in the streets
Oh my
where he was
god.
saying, yo, all these other countries, they hitting me up and they scared. They begging me to go to talk. I forgot the exact phrase, but he said something like, they kissing my ass. Like
Really? Man.
President Trump said, they kissing my ass trying to talk about these tariffs. Then he adjusted again as like a final FU to China, put a 90-day pause on all the tariffs except China. So that way they know, yo, this is personal, just me and you. And he did all this with the shittiest haircut he's ever had the whole time. He got like a box. He lost his original wig. He got the
Uh,
shitty wig now. It's like a square.
oh my god. I can't. Oh, what was I doing last night that I missed all of this? Oh my god. I guess I came home from work and I must have just stared off into space and then I went to bed. So I didn't even realize that there was video that
Yo,
that that we were doing a tit for tat thing. Oh my
he went
god.
off. He went off, yo. You know, like last week I talked about one of my friends like had some like stock do well. Not no more.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
His whole life when he's been a yin yang because of stuff like this, B.
Oh, wait, hold on. 9 minutes ago, Trump told investors to buy hours before making his tariff pause announcement. Hours before hours before issuing his stunning reversal of his reciprocal tariffs, President Donald Trump urged investors to buy, posting on Truth Social, all caps, "This is a great time to buy." he
Yo, we get an
concluded,
insider trader from the president, yo.
yeah, yeah, that's
What is
wild.
happening, yo?
And he put that on Truth Social, which I mean, who the fuck is looking at? Well, I guess we have to now. Um, but I don't. Oh, wait a minute. Stocks turned sharply higher today in response to President Trump's abrupt shift in tariff policy, but the markets still remain far lower than they were at the start of his term. GOP senators, these are all updates that have happened within the past 15 minutes. This is what
Real
I'm reading
talk.
on here. This is insane. GOP senators said there was cheering and clapping and a lot of smiles when the 90-day pause on tariffs were announced during their lunch Wednesday. Oh, so he just said this today.
Today, like this has
Oh
been
yeah,
going
no,
on since
I was watching music videos this morning. I was not.
He out of his mind, yo. This is wild.
Oh Jesus.
Updates are crazy. He really treating China like a dude, like just a person.
Well, China is that dude to him.
Yo,
He's trying to show that he's going to be the one that brings China to his knees, and he's taking down the wrong country. He's taking this one down, and oh man, I don't even
yo.
know.
During the video, he said, people in Congress trying to tell me that they shouldn't take over negotiations with China, but nobody negotiates like me. And like, yo, I don't care how god body I am at anything, to say that like I'm the best against the whole world, against the country is wild.
Nobody negotiates like me, dude. Every tariff you've announced, you've said, but hold up on that. Every one of them. Oh,
Yo,
I I don't even look. I think I have. Well, I don't have a 401k anymore. I cast that shit out to move here. I took my $92 and I moved to New York. But
heavy. Give me that whole bag, okay?
Yeah, I know, in small bills. Oh, those are the only kind of bills you can use? Great. But I do have whatever the nonprofit version of that is. If you work in a
Okay.
nonprofit, whatever that is, I forget what it's like a 50, maybe a
Yeah.
503B or some shit like that. I do have that, right? And I imagine I should be concerned, but
Okay.
I don't understand the markets anyway. How about that? It
Yo.
all seems shady to me. So I am like, I don't even think about that money because I'm like, they're gambling with some of it. I have the smallest amount that you can take out of your check to put into that without just being like, nah, never mind. I want all my money. I was like, all right, I'll put a little aside.
Real
Um,
talk.
because, and they keep like, don't you should invest more? And I'm like, bro, you don't know me. You're lucky you're getting this little bit. I'm not doing more than this. I don't trust none of this. I am a hide it in the mattress kind of bitch. So,
Amen. Amen.
but this is all really insane. And I know it was insane because I feel like we got a letter from whatever company is handling that for us at work that was just like, so I was like, I don't even want to read the rest of this.
All right.
Don't
Things have been
nobody
rocky.
bring me no bad news. I don't want to know.
Things have been rocky.
Okay.
Not our fault though. Not our fault though.
Yeah, I understand you've been concerned. Yeah, I bet.
As you know, we've mentioned investment has risk.
Right. And I was like, and that is why I wanted to opt out, but what else? What else?
Yo, he different. He different.
This is wild. I'm scared to refresh this page.
Real talk. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. It refreshed again. China wants to make a deal. Trump says. That's
oh my
right.
God, I just hit refresh and it's 3 minutes ago. China wants to make a deal.
Yo,
Trump says China wants to make a deal. That's weird because right next to it, there's nothing that says that. What are you talking about?
He said he announced this afternoon it's a 90-day pause on all the reciprocal tariffs except for China, which will see a tariff increase to 125%. I don't even know what that number means anymore at this point.
Yeah,
Like, how ridiculous is that?
how so what wait.
So, like, are we paying like 3 racks for an iPhone? Like,
Yo, I just saw let me see if I can find this. I swear I just saw it come through on Twitter, so who knows if it's true. That Apple just flew like 5 planes filled with iPhones into America. Like, fuck this. We going
yo, get this in before the door closes, yo.
right?
Yo,
iPhone planes. Let's
real talk.
see.
I use Black Magic cameras and equipment for most of my stuff. And like they like announced a new camera on Friday last week. Revolutionary camera.
Okay.
And it was like it's gonna be on sale, $4,999, 5 racks. Everybody was raving about it. And
Mhm.
then on Monday, they were like, yo, we didn't know he was being for real about this tariff shit. We got to run that price back. The tariff is going to change the price to $6,500 only in America. Every other country, still 5Gs. Unfortunately, we make our cameras in China. So for you guys only, you're going to pay extra.
But wait, isn't that what Nintendo did with the Switch 2 Electric
Real talk.
Boogaloo? Weren't
Yeah,
they like, "Oh, we're gonna have to push the date back and the price is gonna go up."
straight up. Everybody getting hit.
Wow. Yeah, apparently, I mean, I assume these are the times of India. 5 planes filled with iPhones sent from India to the US to avoid Trump tariffs in India today. Golly.
Get that in right there, yo. Real talk.
Oh, wow. Hold on.
Yo,
Just need
shots
to
to knowing the bouncer. Real talk, yo. You gotta know the door guy right there, yo. That's
hold
beautiful.
on. Oh, yeah. So Apple flew 5 planes from India to avoid Trump tariffs. Urgent shipments were done before the new 10% tariff took place. Apple is expected to reevaluate its long-term manufacturing roadmap. They rushed shipments of iPhones from India and other markets to the US in late March using 5 aircraft to beat the deadline.
Yeah,
The
that's how you do it right
operation
there.
carried out over just 3 days was aimed at avoiding a 10%. This is some narco shit, isn't it? I
Hell
feel like
yeah.
I feel like they moving keys. Oh my
I
god.
got the Max. I got the Mac. Hell yeah. I love it.
Oh my god. Oh man.
This is rough times right here, yo.
Yo,
It's crazy.
this is insane.
Oh man. Other crazy news today. Speaking
Is it?
of,
I'm scared. I'm scared to click away.
it gets
Okay.
wild. It gets wild. Acting IRS commissioner resigning after agency reaches data sharing deal with immigration authorities. That's right.
Okay.
The IRS commissioner, Melanie Krause, informed her staff Tuesday she is leaving the agency amid internal chaos and the exodus of several senior IRS officials. Krause's decision to accept the agency's deferred resignation offer comes on the heels of the IRS and the Department of Homeland Security finalizing an agreement on Monday to provide sensitive taxpayer data to the federal immigration authorities to help the Trump administration locate and deport undocumented immigrants. The controversial data sharing agreement between the agencies was one factor that played a role in Krause's decision to leave. The source said that the last draft of the agreement that Krause had been involved with and had reviewed was different from the final agreement. Krause learned about the details of the final agreement from the news.
Oh, wow.
Yo,
Um, okay. So my first question is I thought the problem with undocumented workers was that they were not paying taxes. Hmm.
ooh,
Right? Wasn't that the issue? That they come
uh.
over here, they drink our Coca-Cola, they steal our jobs, and they don't pay taxes. I thought that was the issue. So
Why you mad when they paying?
if I could quote the scholar Scooby. um secondly, when I hear about and this just showcases my naivete. When I hear about people in like government officials high up in these like places and they hear the crazy plans and they dip, part of me wants them to stay and do some shady shit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And that could be because I've watched too many Steven Soderbergh movies. But I want him to, like, it's like I want him to stick around and go, "Oh, yeah, 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 yeah," and then do something completely different.
Yeah.
Like, do the right thing, not do the ridiculous thing that they want. And so then, you know, maybe down the line, they get fired or something, but it gums up the works of whatever it is that they're planning. Because I feel like, well, now that she has quit because she's taking a stance,
Right.
so now they're gonna get some spineless person in there to do
To
the
do what they
thing.
doing. Yeah.
And I just feel like, I don't know, slow them up just a little bit.
Yeah, but
But
then like, I get her side too though. If she stayed, then people think she complicit.
right, sure, I get that. I understand that, but I don't know, be as brazen as they are. Here's the problem, w if you're anti what they're doing, fucking say it, I guess, because
Yo,
they
real talk.
certainly are real proud of the bullshit that they're doing to America right now.
Oh, Shy, you just gave me an idea. This is
Oh,
what they should do. You're right.
okay,
No, no, no.
alright,
You nailed it.
okay,
Gum up the idea, gum it up.
mhm.
But you got to do what Mr. Beast did with his YouTube channel. So
Which is what? Attempt to kill people?
before that,
Oh, okay.
early on, he made these videos that were Mr. Beast videos to Mr. Beast that he set for a future release date. So he
Oh.
made videos like 10 years ago saying, yo, uh, this is Mr. Beast from when you were 18
Mhm.
talking to you now. By now, if you work the way I've been working, you'll have 100,000 followers and this, that, and the third, and reveal the
Okay.
plan. She
Mhm.
should have been like, yo, this is Melanie from this day. I just found out this crazy shit went down. I'm about to fuck they shit up. I'm recording this today so y'all know that I
Uh-huh.
rock with y'all, but I got to keep the job to really make things right.
Okay.
So when you see in the press that I stayed here, it ain't because of that. And I'm going to show you what I did. And then
Mhm.
just put a whole bunch of screen grabs of her work all year.
Okay.
You know what I
Alright.
mean? That way she
Like,
got the proof.
document it as she's fucking
Yeah,
it up, document it, and
exactly.
then when need be, drop it, and now she's a folk hero.
That's it.
Mm.
And it'll come out, but she had already saved it. So it'll show that like it was published on this day, but saved that day. So she'll
Right.
have proof that she had that plan in motion.
Right, yeah, the data will
Yeah,
have when it was actually created. So
I
do it
like it.
while you're okay. Yeah, I mean, it probably would only be like a few months. Like I don't think she could keep that up for years or anything cuz I
That's all you need.
yeah, but yeah, a few months to fuck things up is truly all that you need
That's vital.
before yeah. Um but yeah, I think they plan on really concentrating on this aspect of taxes because they're I thought I read that Trump isn't going to do audits. He's not going to push for audits.
Right.
That I think they're going to try to get their money from undocumented workers or whatever. But I also kind of don't believe that they're not going to do audits because I feel like they're going to attempt this and realize that it may not work.
Yeah.
Um, but then again, who knows? They also are just, not to be fear mongering, but I feel like I'm coming across a new story every day of people just getting yoinked or people not being let in from, or you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to, I can't call it again. It's just so much shit is being thrown at us. It's hard to sift through things, and figure out w- how to, how to best allot your time to help or to what
Word.
to keep an eye on, but yeah, like I mean, good for you, girl, and do what you got to do and absolutely take a stand. And now we know how you feel about it. I'm sure you'll end up on MSNBC for a full week. There was that judge. There was some judge who decided to not do a thing that Trump wanted him to do, and she was let go. And I don't even have like live TV, but I
Right.
watch like some CNN clips, but mostly MSNBC clips, or just the occasional news clip. on YouTube, and I swear that bitch made the rounds. I was like, damn.
I mean, she free. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, she's free, so she can do that and all of that. But I was just like, okay, all right. So I'm sure this young woman will also make the rounds.
Real talk. Hi, Melanie Cruz. Krause. You know what I
Like
mean?
just to say, just to get an idea as to the kind of like chaos that must be happening, and we're getting ready to get a new kind of chaos. It makes me sad when I don't see like a fight.
Yeah.
It's like I get that you're taking a stance and that's great, but in the meantime, we are all still on the precipice of being uh thoroughly fucked.
Yo,
And it would have been nice if you could have thrown a fucking tire spike in that somewhere.
real spit. Everybody be safe out there. It is scary times.
It
Um,
is.
it is also I will say it is wild when you make me think of the poor IRS commissioner.
Right?
Like
Like
that's
I don't
crazy.
want to feel for her at
Yeah.
all.
Yo, you made her the empathetic character and she works for the IRS.
IRS.
That's
uh-uh.
wild.
That's insane. That's how evil you are, sir.
Yo.
You got me like, poor IRS lady. I wish, oh, I hope she can find. No, that's not how this was supposed to go down.
Oh man, in other news, alcohol makes male fruit fries more attractive. Yo, the pivot in these articles.
Yo, y'all were, thank you, everybody. Y'all were seeing a lot of stuff.
Yo.
This is
I
something.
love my people, yo. Real talk. Best troops and correspondents ever. Male fruit flies that drink alcohol become more attractive to females. Yo, it's like real life. I love it. Added alcohol to males' food increases their release of chemicals that attract
Oh.
females and leads to higher mating success. Yo, fruit flies are often found around our food waste bins as they feed on rotten fruit.
Wait,
So
hold
that's like
on.
the bar.
Wait, yeah, hold on. Fruit flies.
Yep.
The thing that if you blink, if you see one and you blink, suddenly there's two, then you blink and suddenly there's 12.
Real talk. That's how that. So like that
That's them sober.
exactly they blinking. That's the boss saying, "Yo, ladies in free up top." You know what I mean? They showing up. They getting in free early. And then the dudes like, I gotta get tipsy. You know what I mean? I ain't standing out amongst these other dudes. You get a little nice. You know what I mean? He does that by the garbage, then he comes over to the apples, the bananas on your counter. He's doing numbers.
My point is, it's unnecessary. They don't need this. Do you see what I mean?
Oh man, yo, real talk, man. Like, I ain't trying to diss. I love science. I'm pro research, but like, yo, certain things just didn't need to get said.
We
You know
didn't
what I mean?
need to. I don't think we needed a stud. Like, they are fine. They are multiplying at rates that are. I mean,
I've not. Who's counting them?
who's count? That's the
Who's
tough
counting
part.
them?
I guess once you count fruit flies, you're like, oh no, I'm gonna let everybody know. And also, I mean, I guess what if they're because they show up when the fruit like they're there when there's fruit, but then when the fruit starts to get a little rotten, they're really there,
Yeah,
right? Because the fruit's fermenting. I mean, like, so they're already getting alcohol.
all day.
So
Get it
now
twisted.
imagine giving them just a little shot of vodka on top of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's unnecessary.
Yo, real talk. As a kid, I thought that fruit flies came from the fruit. Like,
Like,
I thought if the fruit got nasty enough, it would start shooting out fruit flies.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure that's not how it happens.
Yeah, I mean, real talk is because where to your point, where do they come from? Like, we in an apartment, we inside.
Exactly.
I don't let fruit flies in, and I don't see them when they not fruits.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, where they at? Where they hanging out? What are they eating when I don't have fruit? And like, especially like, I'm gonna be real. I get in a fruit mood. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be healthy this week.
I'm I'm in a fruit mood.
You know what I mean? But like, if I ain't in that headspace, Ain't no
Right.
fruits out for weeks.
Right.
So they not here. Or if they are, they dying. They starving.
But they never starve because as long as there's 2, there's going to be 20. You understand?
Oh.
They fuck like crazy, I think. I don't really know how what they do. They cut off a limb, more grows back. I'm not sure how it works. But apparently they got to be drunk to do it, and I don't think that's true. They seem to be fine sober, is my point. They seem to multiply fine. I don't
Hey.
know why we needed this study.
The author of the study made it a point to tell us, A, we don't think the flies drink alcohol because they're depressed. That's good to know.
Oh,
I
that's
was
good
worried
because
about their
the only
mental
thing
health.
that makes me sadder than the IRS lady is the idea of a depressed fruit fly.
And B, alcohol is toxic. So the fly's brain must carefully weigh the risk and benefits of drinking.
Oh, like
Because
humans.
it has to balance sending a signal of attraction with also dying.
Yeah, like a bar.
Real talk. I love this.
Wait, this means that the flies have a control mechanism that allows them to get all the benefits of alcohol consumption without risking alcohol intoxication. Why are the flies better than us at drinking?
If you would like
Ugh.
to watch the new dating show, Love is Fly, only on Netflix. Whole bunch of flies that are surrounding an apple, ride
Well,
pair
but with blindfolds on.
with
Patent
blindfolds
pending. No one take that idea. That is Gastor's idea. Because I tell you what,
on.
Netflix will do that shit in a heartbeat.
Real talk, yo. Same drama, low cost. Real talk. We shoot that shit with 2 cameras.
1 trip to a farmer's market, and we are good for 3 seasons.
Real talk. Easy work. Easy
Yeah,
work, yo.
only the fruit changes once a season. This
Yo.
season, banana. Next season, mango. That's our international episode.
Woo, they talk Spanish on that one, baby. Y'all ain't ready.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't think there'd be enough character differences between the flies. You sleeping. Okay? 5 stars, we gonna have reenactments done by famous actors. Watch. It's gonna be
Ooh.
crazy. People gonna do the voices. It's gonna be a thing. I'm in it. I'm into this.
Yeah, this is really actually a good idea.
Low key, this might be my pilot, Sha.
I mean, I think you got something here. And look at us. We've made the pivot away from rats. So
I love it. I love it, baby. The growth.
the growth. The growth.
If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to This Is Des, Kimmy Marie, and FCBLJ. Always appreciate y'all with the articles. With all that said, I am scouting for really like sexy flies, Gastor Almonte.
Okay, that's going to get you on the watch list. You got to watch out with that one.
If you have
I do have an update.
Ooh.
4 minutes ago, Trump says he announced the pause on tariffs because people, quote, were getting yippy, end quote. YIPPY. People were getting yippy, so we put it. Just sign off. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Oh man, with casting director of seasons 1 through 5 before she left to start her own show. The perfect. What is another with I'm trying to think of more fly puns.
Oh. I can't think of any.
Married at First Flap.
Oh wow, I like Married at First Flight.
Okay. You got me. Yeah. Married at First Flight. See, this is why we punch up, baby. You know what I mean? We punch up the jokes right here. Married at First Flight creator, Shalewa Sharpe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we got a whole world we creating. Shine the rhymes. Be nervous.
Oh my God.
Man, thank you so much. Oh, and sincerely, thank you so much for the support already that the Patreon's gotten. Much appreciate y'all. Real talk. It has been like sincerely like beautiful to see it. And also reminder that like I suck at making financial decisions and only think about like making jokes. It was a reminder to do stuff like that, like every now and then. When people tell me like, "Hey, you should probably start a Patreon."
Right.
Yeah, I should have listened like 5 years ago. My bad. You're right. But yeah,
I mean, look, this is a podcast that only just now started to remember when our anniversary is.
it's
So
fair. It's fair. You know what I mean?
it was
We
going to
do
take
what
us a
we
minute to get to the Patreon part.
can. Real talk. Merch coming soon. 2028.
We've had so many merch ideas that I remember none of them. And they're just going to be blank mugs.
Real talk, y'all. There's gonna be pictures of us and just like write your favorite phrase here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to send you a t-shirt and a Sharpie. That's what we're doing.
Catch y'all next time. Peace.